Hey everyone, join me today as I check out a new mold that I've not tried before and try using every little bit of scrap that I have from about 5 other soaps that I've made. This is how you rebatch and use up all of your soap scraps, or at least one way to. So here we go. Um, as you see, or maybe you can see, I'm peeling the inside edge of my soap pitcher. I'm just kind of pulling out what I can. You can't always get every little bit out, but if you take your time and kind of peel slowly, you can get a lot of that little residue out that when you finish a pitcher of soap. And I sometimes, especially when I'm doing using multiple pictures and colors, I will I will certainly try to save them if not use them right away. I usually do end up saving them and not using them right away, but um, I know that I talk about using my scraps a lot, and I haven't always been able to show that. I don't always get to put those on video. So at the end of making several other soaps, as you kind of see it all sprawled out here on the table, I decided I would not just put these in baggies, but at least make one soap. One of the things I wanted to do was use up the rest of the mica that I had spread out all over the table. If you want to know why I spread mica out all over the table, then please watch my Labradorite soap series because that is how that happened. And it was on purpose, but I was also committed to using up as much of that as I could, so I wasn't wasting it. And I'm pretty sure I got every bit humanly possible. Um, I took those little peelings of that pitcher, and I'm kind of rolling them and rubbing them in the mica. There's really not a lot left because I got it up and used it in another soap, but every little bit that's there, I'm brushing it on with a brush. I'm pushing the soap down into it with the brush, kind of pouncing a little bit, like if you were um, using a sponge to paint with, that kind of pouncing action. I was doing that with the brush over the bits of mica that were still on this surface. This surface is a mat, a silicone mat for crafting. It was very clean when I started, and it got very, very messy while I was making the soaps. But the mess was 99.9% mica. So, and the rest of it was soap. So there wasn't any dirt on there. I'm not picking up anything that doesn't actually belong in the soap, and putting it hopefully to a better use. There's a variety of colors in here. I can't even well, if I could list them, but what you're going to see mostly, I'll list that because it is heavy in the Luna by Mad Micas and Nebula by Mad Micas and Blue Moon White. Those are the colors that show up the most in this. It ends up being a little bit of a muted soap because as I was kind of committing myself to make this a scrap soap, I was also using the end of a clear batch that I had that had a little bit of black in it. So it's kind of a little muddy looking, but honestly, I think it works for what I did. Now, I did scrape up a bunch of different scraps. So I don't use them all. I just make one soap because I didn't want to pull out more clear and melt more. I just wanted to use what I had there. I'll use them at a later date. Maybe I'll even make a video of that if you'd like to see it. But I just wanted to use these little thin scraps and show you what that looks like or what it can look like. And I also at the same time wanted to try a mold I got a long time back and have been dying to try and just haven't had the time. Our good friend Liz from all the soap groups and my favorite stalker, just kidding, she bought this great mold from Wholesale Supplies Plus. It's a cube mold. I'm sure there's other companies that make them, but they were on sale at Wholesale Supplies Plus. And I got one, and then I ended up getting another one, and I still haven't used them until this very night that you see this video. So I did bag up some of the other scraps that I didn't use. Like I said, that will be a future one. The one that's kind of looks like it was painted or splattered across the top of that other pink mold. That one I can't wait. I didn't get to use it in this one, but it's going to be cool. I can't wait to try it in something. It just made a neat scrap, and I just had a tiny bit of black left when I was pouring those labradorite soaps, and I thought it would pick up some of that mica, and it did. So that was kind of a fun little experiment there. But I'm just brushing. I didn't get up all of the mica that was under that mold, which is why you see me kind of digging under it. I'm pulling out any excess under there and using the brush to pounce it onto those little scraps. I do even come back in, as you see, with my knife and scrape some more off. And I end up with more than I even need for the soap. But you can kind of see the colors being reflected now, even before they're in the clear. You see there's some black and there's some clear, and they're reflecting a purple and blue, shades of purple and blue, because that's what Luna is, a gray or a silver that reflects a bluish tint, and Nebula is a purple that reflects a bluish tint, and then Blue Moon White is a white mica that reflects a bluish tint. So you're going to see lots of purple and blue, and they're just gorgeous. The fragrance, what I did for the fragrance is what I did for the whole series here, because I didn't want to add something that would clash with the fragrance that's already in those soaps. And that is Narcissist from Wholesale Supplies Plus. It is a duplicate, and I'm sorry, but I don't know who. I should know who the duplicate is made by, but I don't. I mean, what it is a duplicate of. Who made the original? I don't know. You probably know. And if you don't, you can certainly look it up. It's a very popular fragrance right now, and I can see why. It smells fresh and clean and a little bit sexy. It's a great fragrance, and it did not discolor my soaps in any way. It's a nice light fragrance for a perfume duplicate, in my opinion. It isn't overbearing at all, and it isn't cloying as some fragrances can be, especially ones that are representative of perfumes. So it's Narcissist type, and I got mine at Wholesale Supplies Plus. There definitely are other fragrance companies out there. I have a few others that I'll be using soon. This is the mold I was talking about. I've seen Liz do some of the cutest little soaps in these, and I've just been aching to try. And so this one, it really it's cute. The shape itself, it's going to highlight anything you put in it. To me, similar to the way that oval mold that you see right there, the pink one. That one, I swear you can almost put anything in it, and it turns out to be a beautiful soap. Just because the shape, that dome effect, really makes everything kind of, I don't know, not magnified, but it just looks neat. It looks like a paperweight or a jewel or something really cool. And I feel like this cube has a similar effect. You put something in it, it's going to look cool. I mean, you're looking at a pile of scraps there. And it does look cool. I think it looks really good when I pull it out and unmold it. I do pour, I'll caution you with this style real quick. As I'm pouring, I am pouring a little on the hot side, but not so hot as to melt those, because they are very delicate, very thin embeds. But I want you to notice I'm cramming a bunch of them in at once, which instantly cools the soap that's in there. So you don't want to pour it too cool, or you're going to end up with a mess. I will say that one of the other things I'll say about this is, It's very easy to get, and you probably can't even really avoid them very well when you're covering the scraps in mica like that, because you can't spritz it before you put them in. You're gonna get bubbles. And I think it works fine with the style of the soap. I think it looks cool. Um, but don't expect with this style of scrap soap to not end up with bubbles. I sprayed, I tapped, they're going to get trapped in there. You saw how I mean, you could put them in one at a time, but then you'd have to start with a cooler soap and it might set up on you while you're going. But again, because you can't really spritz until it's covered by the soap, um, without getting, muddying it up with the mica going everywhere, I would just recommend just kind of cramming them all in there and just know that you're going to have bubbles. But I don't know if you've seen old glass and paperweights, glass paperweights and stuff like that, but they do have bubbles. So to me, that's what it reminds me of. And I knew it was going to do that before I put it in that mold. I just expected it. So I want you to expect it too if you try this. But it is a way to get a use, and one more use out of that last bit of soap you had from a soap you made. Here I am collecting the rest of the scraps that I didn't use because, as you see, I'm going to use them eventually. I did separate them out. I don't always do that, but I have certain designs in mind to use those for, and I kind of wanted to keep them separate. So there's that. And then I just set it to the side and I let it set up in, and now I obviously several moments later, maybe an hour later, I unmold. Be careful with this kind of soap because it is kind of deep, but covered. You have the one side for it to cool, but it might need a little longer than your regular kind of flat rectangle soap would need to set up. So I would give it a little bit more time setting up. I would loosen it a little first, loosen the edges by kind of pulling outward. I should have done that a little better on screen. I'm sorry I didn't. Oh, there it's showing it a little bit, sort of. And then pull and push it through a little bit. But be careful pushing if it's not set up all the way. You'll end up with big thumb marks in it, or thumb, I don't know, not holes, but dents. That's the word. You'll end up with dents in it. And I did not, because I was careful. But here we go. I think it's pretty. If you'd like to see more scrap type soaps, I do have a playlist where I'm rebatching my soaps and using up scraps that have been from a previous soap. I'm hoping you can see the clarity that is still, there's enough clarity. I said it was kind of muddy looking, and it is, because there is a little bit of additional mica in the clear. It wasn't perfectly clear. If you started with perfectly clear, you'd see a little bit better, but also all of those embeds were coated in mica and then crammed into the cube. So some of it probably came off, and I don't care because it still looks really pretty. To me, it reminds me a little bit of amethyst. It's not quite the crystalline look, the crystal shapes that we look for in amethyst crystals, but it's got that coloration. If you think of something else, it looks more like maybe fluorite, some other crystal, or just a pretty art glass. I don't know. Let me know, because I would like to have your opinion on that. But yeah, maybe it does look more like fluorite than amethyst. Tell me what you think it looks like. If it looks like a crystal at all, or if it just looks like a hunk of purple. But hopefully you'll give something like this a try and use up your scraps. Thank you so much. Bye.